My dear audience, I'm very happy to have a chance to introduce in few words my new CD that is coming out these days for the Wigmore Hall live. When I walked off stage on the 27th of June 2001 after my debut at the Wigmore Hall, after that wonderful warm reception of the audience, I could have hardly really imagined that after over a decade of experiencing the eternal dimension and pure magic of the Wigmore Hall, mostly as an artist but also as a listener, that Wigmore Hall would invite me to record the CD for their own label. From one point of view, recording a CD live can be, psychologically speaking, journey through thorns because of those thoughts that might appear somewhere in the back of the head and tingling you and bothering you throughout the performance. But on the other hand, we all know that the pure magic is in the live performance itself. And it is really wonderful when one has a chance to go back and refresh the childhood memories, especially if they are good ones, of course. And some of the pieces on this program certainly bring me back to my childhood. I grew up in a surrounding where the folk music was dominant, and I was really playing accordion. That was my first instrument. And playing the folk music gave me that more natural dimension of feeling the dance character of the music and feeling all those goosebumps provided by that music. And I'm primarily speaking here of the second Rhapsody by Liszt. I was drew into it through the cartoon Tom and Jerry, and that's why I call it the Tom and Jerry Rhapsody. And since the Hungarian folk music is culturally closer to us in Macedonia, I can say it was a bit easier for me to sort of get the natural feel of the character of the folk music in this piece, for example. I like to call Liszt men who really loved the life and who loved to feel, to breathe freely because of his personality and spirit. And I definitely wanted to explore more of his music. That goes for the Sonnet Petrarca and for the Les Jeux d'eau, La Villa d'Este, the fountains. I know that many people think that Liszt is basically more of a showman, pianist and composer, but as an artist I definitely think the opposite, because of the devices he left us, he put in the score, and he left us as a simple guide through which he gives us basically the directions of the way he put the poetry in music, or describe the human personality, or describe the nature itself in the brilliantly imaginative way. That is why, for example, the transcription of Bach's organ prelude and fugue in A minor is simply majestic to me. It allows us to experience Bach as an original organ composer in its original light without changes of the notes, but Liszt definitely tried to explore the piano in even further dimension, and it allowed us to feel the power of this instrument, of describing not only orchestral sound but also almost the organ sound in an atmosphere of, let's imagine, a big huge cathedral that gives us that kind of feeling. And the boiling energy throughout the fugue, for example, of this piece is really indescribable with words, because it continues through the whole piece, and Liszt does it in the most authentic way that one could really think of. Regarding Schubert, I really love this composer because of his honesty. I never had a chance to perform much of his music in my early years, and that's why I decided to re-explore him. The starting point was the Wanderer Fantasy, which I learned when I was late 14 years of age. The ability to make a vast piece with multi-dimensional importance from emotional point of view, from pianistical point of view, from a point of view of musical analysis, which was very important and had a great influence to Liszt for some of his works later. This unified piece that comes out of a single motif of his song, with so many different moods, with almost a biographical story, musically speaking, nevertheless his early opus, still keeping the momentum and its singing quality throughout the whole piece, is really simply astonishing. And there is no doubt why one proper performance of a pianist leaves the audience with a great, really wonderful feeling and admiration, and the pianist is of course soaked totally after the performance of it. Regarding the German dances, I can say that I was very much helped by the folk music which I experienced in my early childhood here in Macedonia, and that helped me really of the feeling of the dance itself as a character, I can say, nevertheless the cultural differences. And it is said that a composer's score is in the very small musical forms, just like Chopin in his mazurkas or waltzes, or Chopin or Beethoven, let's say, in his bagatelles. For example, Schubert gives us this diverse world in the German dances, and from the starting point of pain and melancholy and love, through the joy and happiness at the end. All these things that we as human beings are passing through in our lives, and we are striving for a much happier and even healthier life. I very much hope that you will like the CD, so enjoy it.